Hey gang, welcome back to the free web hosting series by Jenkins Locks and Geekdom. I'm Don. This is going to be a big video. I'm going to try to get all the way through WordPress being installed, not configured, but installed. So in the interest of saving time, I've already taken a snapshot, best practice. This is about my 8th or 9th attempt at making this video, just because I'm trying to rush it. So to save time, I've already taken a snapshot. DNS works. I've had to restore a few times. So with that, I guess I could have saved even more time and already been connected. So we've taken a free Gmail account, set up our cloud platform, we set up our virtual servers, we've done some prep work of setting up external DNS. Okay. One thing I do want to, someone asked me, oh here, here's some of my attempts that did not go well. So, someone asked me, is your command line tied to only one account? No, it's, if you do an auth login, it'll bring you here and you can select which account you want to log in with. So I have multiple. I have Jenkins Locks, I have Geekdom, I have this test user. So each time you switch, you'll be taking this page, allow, and I open another terminal, which is awesome. So now we're logged in here. Okay. So I will apologize ahead of time. Between the pandemic and the snow, and it's like 5 degrees outside right now, we've got 4 cats that are going stir crazy, so I've already had my drinks knocked off this morning. I've had yelling, I've had clawing, fighting. So if you hear that, I apologize. It's been part of my 6 or 7 takes, 8 takes, 20 takes by now. Okay, so one of the first things we want to do, sudo, that's to run as the admin, root, apt get, application get, the install for Nginx, and this is going to be our web server software. Now you can go with Apache, Tomcat, those are tried and true. I just prefer Nginx. It came to the game learning from those other ones, and it does a really excellent job of handling multiple concurrent connections, or multiple users hitting the website at once. So once that's installed, we want to sudo admin again, service, we want to invoke the service command, we want to invoke the Nginx, or Nginx, we want it to start. Okay, so let me find my IP here. Now those of you playing at home might say, why aren't you using, we went through all that trouble, set up DD client and everything. We have to get the web server set up properly for it, because if it comes in looking for geekdom.dev, the web server doesn't know what that is, even though DNS knows what that is. So for right now we're just using the public IP address, and this is being served off our virtual server. So yeah, we made it through this hurdle. Okay, so the next, we need to make some changes, and that is going to be sudo nano, or your preferred text editor, vim. Let's see. And for those of you not familiar with the command line, if you start typing and hit tab, it will autocomplete if there's an an option there. So if I went in J, it's not going to find anything. And if there's like Nginx or Nginx 1, 2, 3, and 4, when you tab, it'll sit there and scroll through them. So, just some time-saving tips. So if you see that, how it popped in real quick, that's not me typing that fast. Okay, so here we are going to select multi-accept on, and that just tells Nginx to accept multiple connections, multiple people throughout the world connecting at once. So then we want to go down to one other tip, at least in Nano. If you hit Control W, it brings up a search, and it brings you right to, it allows you to go through. Now, you can't do like an F3 and next. You do have to keep hitting W, but the default will be the last term you searched for. So keep alive. This is how long, once someone hits your website, how long is the server going to hold that line open for them? I try to go with 30 seconds. I think that's enough time. But it's going to be performance based. So if you leave the connection open too long, your server's going to get bogged down as people click, oh, that's not the website I want, and leave, or I got distracted by my cats. Too little, your server's going to get bogged down because, you know, if you set it to 5 seconds and someone's reading something on your page, 5 second passes, when they click something, then it's got to open another connection. So this is a setting you have to play with. We're going to turn tokens off. If a user gets an error with Nginx, this will prevent it from advertising what version you're running. So right after this, we want to add, and I know there's some people out there, if you watch Silicon Valley, yes, I did use a space bar. It's hard for me to walk and chew bubblegum at the same time, so I go back and forth between them. But here we want to add max, client max body. Size, and we want to make that 16. This is going to be how large of a file we want going back and forth. You can adjust this down the road, but so far 16 seems like a good one for me. Okay, so the next section we want to do is find the gzip settings. So we want this on, proxy any, just meaning it can come from anywhere. Compression level, this can go from 0 to 9. I like 5 because that's about 75%. That's how much it's going to compress files. Not all the world has gotten rid of 1.1. Now here, I'm actually going to delete this entire line because I've already got mine set up the way I like it and what I found has worked best. And all this stuff, I know I'm kind of doing this Fast and Furious style. Well, at least in my head it seems Fast and Furious. This will all be down in the description. If you guys watched the last video, I put a lot of information in the description there. Please let me know if you like that format. If I didn't explain enough, explained it too much. So let's see. Yep. That's all good. Just double checking my notes. So we want to hit Control X in Nano to save. Yes to confirm, and where we want it. So now we're going to test the configuration we just did. Success, that's good. I will show you here in a little bit what a failure looks like. So we're going to restart the service now. So now we need to install PHP. Now we're installing 7.3 just for simplicity right now. It is a stable version. There is 7.4, which is a current. You have to go through and update your repositories, which is a more in-depth video, and there is 8, which you have to really change your repositories to get. Alright, I might go ahead and pause here. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to save time on the video by pausing as installs run. So now we need to cursor in the way. Open a text editor nano as root. And we need to sites available. Okay, so here we need to come down to this spot right here, and we're going to add right after index blank PHP. So this is kind of the pecking order. So we want the web server to first look for an index. If there's no index, we want to look for a PHP version of it, then an HTML, then an HTML. So next we need to come down here to the PHP scripts fast CGI. And we are going to... This is actually one of the things, because I didn't read all instructions and do my proper dues. I kept coming through here and I never uncommented this. So anytime you have a lead bracket, you have to have an end bracket. And if you don't, if we do a test, expecting, okay. So save again, and now we're back to happy, happy, joy, joy. Okay, so that's all good. Now we need to. So we did do the test of welcome. So let's try making a quick sample page. That's going to be in the var www.html, cursor in the way. And for this I'm just going to have it call the PHP information. Okay. Yep. So now if we come back to our web browser here and do a refresh, we should get information about our PHP install. Or not. Hold on a second. Alright, so sorry, I did skip a step and didn't restart the service. My bad. So now if we go here, go. Nope, nope. Let me get my IP address again. So the only thing I did behind when I paused it was I just double checked my configuration. When in doubt, restart. I restarted the service and boom. So, okay, we're back on track. Happy, joy. Okay, so that's working. Now we need to make some changes to the PHP ini file. So we're gonna open admin, text editor. Let's see, 7 point. FPM and PHP.ini. Okay, so what we want to look for here is let's do a Control W to find and look for upload. Okay, that's not one. Max. Okay, so we need to make this match that max client size we created earlier. And then we also need to find CGI. Let's try CGI fix. Okay. We need to make this a 0. So this just tells the web server not to try to execute scripts that are similar in name, to only execute what it should execute. With that, I think we're good. So that's it for Nginx, PHP. Next thing we need to do is install our database server. So here we're doing a run as root admin, get the install for MariaDB server and client. Yep, 171 megs, so it's going to take a minute. I will pause. Okay, that took a few minutes. So we want to fire up that new database server with sudo mysql. And what we're going to do is create a user so that we're not using, we're not using root. With Linux, you don't want to run everything as root. Just like you don't want everything to just run wide open as administrator privileges in Windows. So we are going to create, and this is case sensitive, user. I'm going to call it Tor. And if you're playing the home edition, Tor is actually root backwards. So making a pun here. Local host. Oop. Identified by password. Let's do something simple. You do not want to do something simple on your version. I'm just doing something simple I can remember here. Now here's one of the biggest mistakes when I first started doing this, is every time you run a command in MariaDB, you gotta put that little guy at the end, semicolon. Is that colon? Semicolon. I don't know, the one with the comma. Because that tells it to execute it. If not, you get dumped into a subcommand. Alright, so what did I type wrong? Identified Alright, well let me try this. I'm probably mistyping something. I tend to blame myself. So create user. And one of you will probably be able to point out real quick what I'm doing, but maybe I should start wearing my glasses more. There we go. So I was mistyping something. So create user, all caps, apostrophe, your username, apostrophe, at blah blah blah, your password. Okay. So now we want to, I'm just going to cut and paste because apparently I'm not typing even at my poor normal. So here we're going to grant all privileges to that newly created account. And I did not put at. I'll get it right eventually. So now we want to flush the current credential table. And exit. So next thing we want to do is we're going to add a little bit of security. So we've already set a password. We don't want to do that. We do want to remove anonymous users. We do want to disallow root remote login. The reason we do that is a lot of hackers, they always try the defaults because a lot of people don't go through and change passwords or change user accounts. And every Linux installation has a root account. So we want to remove that. As far as I can tell, MariaDB does not install with the test database. So yeah, let's go ahead and remove it anyways. We do want to reload privileges. So now we're good. At this point, you could install something like AdMiner if you really want more control of your database. I've never personally used it. It's caused me problems. So with all this said and done, we are going to do a quick test. Fingers crossed. Yes. Alright, so we are just over 23 minutes. So I'm trying to keep this at a half-hour video. So it's been a long journey, but here we are. See if you guys playing at home can figure out what I am doing. I'm going to do some cleanup because we did a lot of testing and setting things up. So cleaning the slate. That is right, I am downloading WordPress. So sudo run as admin root. wget, we're getting a webgit, so it's going out to this web page, wordpress.org, and it's getting the latest installer. If you're more of a Windows user, the tar.gz, that's like a zip file. It's a compressed file. So let's... No! With Debian 10, they've removed a lot of things that Debian 9 had in them. Simple fix. Run as admin, we're going to get the install for wget. Up arrow twice, back to where we were. Eureka. So now we need to unpack that zip file. Tar. I forget off the top of my head what XCF does. I'm sure someone in the comments will be able to correct me. Okay. So now we've unpacked everything into the WordPress file. So we're going to move all the contents of WordPress to here. And now we want to get rid of that sudo rm remove. I think that's a remove force. Because it's a directory, we got to put that switch on there. Or no, not a directory. Again, can't walk and chew bubblegum. So we're just removing that file, cleaning up space. Okay. So we also want to, in this day and age of search engines and everything else, we want to create a robot text file. And we want to tell them directories they can't look at. So again, I'll put this down in the description. So we're telling the world where they can cache, where they can't cache, what they can look at, what they can't look at. Control X, yes to save. Okay. Now, when you install zip files, it's not like Windows where it just automatically assigns permissions. So we need to set a new command, chown, or change owner, recursively. Data. Okay, so now we are the owner. Now, this is going to be over 30 minutes. Okay, thought I was ahead of schedule. So now we're going to fire up the database. So MySQL-U for user, that's the user we created, -P, it's going to prompt us for the password. I would tell you one thing on Linux and passwords: don't use an exclamation mark. It invokes a bang command. It's what they call a reserved character. Pardon me. So once we're in here, again, case sensitive. So create database, and let's give it a name. Yeah, that works for me. Remember that little guy in the end, so you don't get stuck in loop hell. Okay, now we can exit. So now I might make this at 30 minutes. Okay. So, alright, I'm going to go over 30 minutes. So, a couple things you need to really keep in mind here. Database name, we just created it. User password, host. So let's go. Database name, remember we changed that to WP. Username is Tor. That is the let me in 20, and good. Alright, Sparky, we are here. So, if you want to fill this stuff out now, you can. The one thing I do suggest is creating your account, site title. So I'm going to create myself a username. You can go with this. I'm gonna. Very weak. That's fine. We're gonna change this later. But I needed something to remember. I can't remember that gobbledygook. And I guess I should put this to. Well. Yeah. You can set this. It really doesn't make any difference. Search engines are going to do what they want to do. So, take note, we create a site title, username, which will be case sensitive, our password, which is very weak. We do not want to save. Welcome. We're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. No, last pass, I did not want you to save that. We now have a virtual server freely hosted by Google out in the world running Nginx, which is a modern web server for Linux. We've got WordPress, we've got Nginx installed, we've got PHP, we've got MariaDB, we've got almost like we're professionals here. So this video just hit 32 minutes, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to stop the video here, because if you've made it to 32 minutes, God bless you, thank you for sticking in there with me, it's amazing. I'm going to recommend you go in and take a snapshot now, which I will do. And the reason I'm telling you to do this, because if you guys are like me, you're not going to sit and not touch, not do anything else. WP post install. So I want you to safeguard. Oh, yeah. It's always the damn hyphens. If you're like me, you just got the shiny new toy, and you're not going to not touch it. You can't not touch it. So, I want you to create that snapshot so you can go in here and explore, test, break things. That's the majority of how I learn is by breaking things. And then, before the next video, we can restore back, undo all the damage we've done learning, and we're right back here, fresh installed, ready to go. Again, guys, appreciate you sticking it out with me here. Really hope you're enjoying this series. You're getting a lot out of it. I love the amount of views and comments and support. It's been awesome. So if you guys are already subscribed, thank you very much. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Just so I know I'm not talking to myself here. I'm actually contributing something to the world at large. So hit that like, hit that subscribe, post the comments, I love them. And we will catch you for the next video. Take care, guys and girls.